What's good, y'all? Welcome back to my studio. So, yeah, this was everywhere all over social media: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. But Twitter, it was blowing up everywhere. The fact that Netflix bagged out of this binding deal, and I know I heard some crazy situations with both companies, and they're not perfect, but guess what? Somebody's got to save the franchise. And thankfully, Mortal Kombat was safe. You know what I'm saying? So, last year, it was talked about everywhere on YouTube about how Netflix don't really find values in video games, yet they have video games of their own. Some are just like mobile games or something like that. But you barely see any Mortal Kombat or the Arkham series or whatever. They ain't even got the TMNT beat 'em up. But we're talking like video games, actual video games that these filming companies actually embrace. So, Paramount Skydance is poised to acquire Warner Bros. Discovery after Netflix bows out for binding war. Bro, this shit has been happening since last year. I didn't think it was gonna happen, but it did. But if y'all new to this video, please give a brother a thumbs up because we're finna go for a ride, y'all. And yeah, let's hop on and see what they got cooking. Paramount and Skydance poised to acquire Warner Bros. Discovery, and is entirely after a whirlwind afternoon in which Netflix dropped out of the hunt despite having reached an agreement in December to acquire most of Warner Bros. Discovery. Netflix on Thursday afternoon formally declined to increase its offer for Warner Bros. Discovery after WBD declared Paramount Skydance's latest bid a superior proposal to an agreement it already had in hand with Netflix. But then you don't really trust Netflix either, considering the fact that they have some bad shares and hairs in terms of like handling iconic properties. I mean, look at Power Rangers headed to Netflix, for example. Once and Always was good. Cosmic Fury was an interesting season, but after that, they just stopped doing projects with Power Rangers because they couldn't do a new deal to even come up with the Power Rangers reboot because whatever reason. And I sometimes think that Netflix is not the best place to make movies and TV shows because considering the fact that certain seasons don't really last long and certain franchises don't really last long, because at some point in time you might as well just call it a break, if you ask me. Maybe that's why they backed out of a deal, because Paramount was coming out full swinging with all kinds of offers that you cannot refuse. The swift decision by Netflix to walk away will certainly come as a shock to the industry because the streamer had 4 business days, or until Wednesday, March 4th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, to come up with a new proposal to salvage its WBD deal. Adding to this surprise is the fact that Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos was in Washington, D.C. earlier, shout out to D.C., my hometown, earlier Thursday yesterday, in an effort to lobby Trump administration officials on the deal, which Netflix had a merger agreement in place for, aiming Paramount's new $31 per share offer. As much as I hate this person in the office and I despise the administration, I gotta say that even though he said he wasn't going to be part of the binding war, but you could tell he had something to do with it. That the deal just came through because, call me crazy, but Trump did say that he wasn't a fan of Netflix. He didn't want them to go to that toxic industry. That, I mean, listen, these are just some of my opinions. I don't care about Donald Trump. I don't like the guy. I was never a fan of him. But something told me that he had something to do with Paramount and Skydance closing a deal with Warner Bros. Discovery. But the deal is still going on. We don't know if they officially won the war, but it's possible that Netflix could end up coming out with a different offer. Because you know Netflix is not the type of platform that will give up on its bidding wars, because they're one of the richest streaming platforms too, and so is Paramount Discovery. But the thing is that Netflix has a bad track record, and so does Paramount. Like, somebody's got to take it. Would have created shareholder value with a clear path to regulatory approval, Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos and Brad Peters said in a joint statement issued yesterday, less than 2 hours after Warner Bros. Discovery revealed its board's new decision. However, we've always been disciplined and at the price required to match Paramount Skydance's latest offer. The deal is no longer financially attractive, so we are declining to match the Paramount Skydance bid. Warner Bros. It's a world-class organization, and we want to thank David Zaslav and everybody at Warner Bros. Discovery Board for running a fair and rigorous process. We believe we would have been strong stewards of Warner Bros. Iconic brands, and that our deal would have strengthened the entertainment industry and preserved and created more production jobs in the US. But this transaction was always a nice to have at the right price, not a must have at any price. Wow. I'm gonna need y'all to understand something and understand it correctly, bro. Whether you like Paramount Skydance or Netflix, somebody is gonna take Warner Bros. Discovery, and we all knew that Paramount was the better option. I even said that last year. Dynasty even said it, and he told y'all before, ever since this news came out. And there's a reason why I don't even trust Netflix, because of the way they handle certain brands and stuff like that. And they don't really last long on our platform. And that's why you got Tubi that has everything. Your favorite cartoons, your favorite tokusatsu TV shows, favorite movies and stuff. Something that Netflix does not have, and yet they now added to that on their platform. Whereas Paramount, they pretty much got the Sonic franchise. They got Futurama. They got Family Guy. You know, I highly doubt they're going to probably have Power Rangers, but who knows? All I know for sure is that it's probably going to change the entertainment industry forever. Depending on how you people feel about it, honestly. But the thing is that my biggest fear, if Mortal Kombat were to go to Netflix, it wasn't going to be the same. We weren't going to be able to see any Warner Brothers Discovery project in theaters. It was going to be exclusively to Netflix. Like, we want the real experience to see MK action in theaters. We want to be able to see all of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the first movie back in 2021, it did its numbers right enough to get a sequel. And ever since that first trailer came out of Mortal Kombat 2 came out last year, it crushed the numbers. It got everybody hyped and excited. Then the trailer came out on Wednesday. It had me excited, and I was ready to crash out when I did my reaction. Go check it out. The video is out. The link will be in the description. Then, if you listen to the fans and you give the fans what they want, they're gonna tune in regardless, bro. So, then comes the video games. Warner Brothers ruined the entertainment industry in terms of video game wise. Cutscenes, storylines, voice acting, etc. They wanted to make the games on their own terms. You gotta wait like 3 or 4 or 5 years for a new video game. And now all of a sudden, they're coming back to making good games next year and 2028. Because now that Paramount owns everything, yes, a lot of us do have some fears that we're not gonna probably get every project from Mortal Kombat, Injustice, or the Arkham series every year, every once in a while, but we're gonna get something. If Paramount finds any values in video games, then I'm sure we're gonna probably get new Mortal Kombat projects in the future. All you gotta do is ask the company, plead with them, and they'll give you what you want. It's really just that simple, dog, honestly. The statement continued, Netflix's business is healthy, strong, and growing organically, powered by our slate and best-in-class streaming services. This year, we'll invest approximately $20 billion in quality films and series, and will expand our entertaining offering. Consistent with our capital allocation policy, we'll also resume our share repurchase program. We will continue to do what we've done for more than 20 years as a public company. Delight our members, profitably grow our business, and drive long-term shareholder value. And yet you backed out. And that's why Paramount won. Like I'm telling y'all, this is huge completely. This is really, really huge. And hopefully, if we do get some information on the future of Mortal Kombat and all that goody stuff, one can only hope that some way, somehow, we're gonna probably get the news that Mortal Kombat 13 is coming in 2028. We're gonna probably get the Arkham series coming in 2029 or 2028. Like, one or the other, we're gonna probably get something out of Paramount. Because knowing Netflix, I kind of don't trust them, because it's kind of like a depressing streaming services, if you ask me. Yes, they have some good stuff, but when you look at it, it kind of, I mean, this is just my opinion. In my opinion alone, it is kind of depressing. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? The now dead Netflix deal, which included buying Warner Bros. And HBO Max, was valued at nearly $83 billion. Paramount's latest bid, submitted February 24th, was an approximately $111 billion bid for the entirety of Warner Bros. Discovery, including its Liner cable channels. In a statement, WBD CEO David Zaslav tried to put a positive spin on the extraordinary turn of events, citing Netflix co-CEOs Sarandos and Greg Peters and Chief Financial Officer Spencer Newman. Netflix is a great company, and throughout this process, Ted, Greg, Spence, and everyone there have been extraordinary partners to us. We wish them well in the future, Zaslav said. Once our board votes to adopt the Paramount merger agreement, it will create tremendous value for our shareholders. We are excited about the potential of a combined Paramount, Skydance, and Warner Bros. Discovery, and can't wait to get started working together to telling the stories that move the world. Wow. I mean, at least there's no bad blood between two companies, because both of them have their flaws and stuff like that. But to me, Paramount just came out swinging. They're the real winners, honestly. So at the end of the day, bruh, I just want to see Mortal Kombat move again. We're getting a movie this year. It's coming out on May 8th, which is something I'm definitely excited about. And not only that, we're going to probably get an announcement at the Summer Game Fest 2026 under Paramount, whether we're gonna get an announcement of what NRS project is going to be made. Samuel A. Jr., chair of the Warner Bros. Discovery Board of Directors, added, "I am extremely proud of the rigorous process this board has run over the past 5.5 months that has led us to the cuts of combining these two story companies, and the excitement will bring the audiences for many years to come." Now the reality that one of the Hollywood's foundational studios, the mighty Warner Bros. And the pioneering brand of paid TV, HBO, are about to be absorbed by another legacy studio is seeking it. Given the significant overlap of operations in filming, TV production, and programming, the industry is bracing for another big round of job losses. I mean, when you think about it, it is kind of true though. So, even if they do lose jobs, they can always find other opportunities in Hollywood. It doesn't have to be the end of the world because they're rich. They could just do something different while also making that same amount of money. You know, if you're working for a giant company like Paramount and Netflix, and if you're rich like that, then you could just find other ways, or better yet, make your own company, start your own company, and make money off of that. So, there are many unknowns about how Warner Bros. Discovery will operate under Paramount's ownership. Paramount's triumph in the binding process almost certainly means that WBD will no longer spin off its line of cable channels into a separate company that would have been called Discovery Global. It was WBD's plan to spin off the cable channels that ignited the auction process around the studio last fall. WBD's intention to shed its line of channels was the fact that spurred Netflix to get serious about buying Warner Bros. And HBO. Now WBD's significant collection of cables, including CNN, TNT, TBS, Cartoon Network, Discovery Channel, Animal Planet, Food Network, and HGTV, will presumably be folded into the exiting Paramount line of channels group headed by George Chet, who also oversees CBS. Industry insiders are still shocked that Paramount Skydance was able to turn around what appeared to be an embarrassing defeat for CEO David Ellison. After making multiple unsolicited overturns to WBD last fall, the WBD board was forced to begin a sale process that played out in late October and November. The fact that Netflix was a contender in the process, along with Paramount and Comcast, came as something of a surprise, given that the streamer has followed a non-traditional path to building a world-beating paid TV outfit with unprecedented global reach. Netflix was able to secure its agreement with WBD by December 5th. That deal, which did not include the cable channels, was valued at $27.75 deal a share, or $82.7 billion. Paramount's all-cash $30 a share offer for the entirety of the company was rejected by the WBD board without any substantial back and forth. But when Paramount upped the entire $231 a share or about 111 billion in total, WBD had no choice but to engage. It only took Paramount all of these retries to come out with from $30 a share to $31 a share to come up with an agreement. And that's how Netflix took the L. I didn't think it was gonna happen, but based on the information I heard, and I'm just finding this out myself, this one is a big deal, y'all. Like, things could be insane come 2027 and 8. But it happened. So even though Paramount won the bid, I feel like Netflix could somehow make a comeback. Like I said, only time will tell if things get better. Who knows? But all I know for sure is that Mortal Kombat is being saved. It's not going to be ruined by a streaming company. So maybe they're going to come out with new video game titles in 2027 and 8. So how we looking? How y'all feeling about this news? If you want the information, then the link will be down below. Like I said, this was a long article. I didn't want to keep on, but hey, I got all the answers I need. So I'm turning it over to y'all.